With the most local news, Fox 17 News starts now with a winter weather alert.
Our mobile weather tracker indicates plenty of slick roadways. A winter weather advisory in place for most of West Michigan. Details on how much snow to expect.
An innocent young college student killed in a high-speed police pursuit is remembered by her family, her boyfriend, and her community. What loved ones are saying about Tara Hoskamp.
The Republican health care plan will be put to the test this week. Plus, the House Intelligence Panel wants President Trump to provide evidence to support his wiretapping claims by today.
Well, good Monday morning to you. It is approaching 7 o'clock. I'm Mike Avery.
And I'm Gianna Falzone. Of course, we are live and local for the next couple of hours here to help you get ready to head out the door. Rob Westby with traffic, Gary Frank with weather, keeping an eye on that radar for us. And how are the roads looking?
Well, everywhere it's looking like there's snow on the roads. It's just going to make it worse as more people get on the roads, pack it down into ice.
Yeah. All right, Gary.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, mobile weather tracker is showing that at least this specific spot, you're going to have people that are going to go faster than maybe they should, but there are some spots that you're able to go 60 miles an hour, but there are snow-covered roadways in many locations, especially some of the side roads. And as Rob indicated, it gets packed down or perhaps melted a little bit, but with temperatures well below freezing, that'll refreeze. Right now, I would say within the next 3 hours is probably where we're going to get most of our snow today, and so that is obviously coinciding with rush hour right now. West Olive, Allendale, you have seen probably the heaviest snow all morning long, as we have seen specific heavy bands set up between there, Hudsonville, Zeeland, and Holland. So if you're traveling from Grand Rapids to Holland, you're going to notice that there's a little bit more snow and visibilities are going to decrease as well. Into downtown Grand Rapids, we have a little bit of snow as well, but further south on 131, this is right toward Kalamazoo. This is one of the locations that we're picking up the most. And we'll zoom in just a little bit. I want to show you some of the heavier bands because this is indicated into Kalamazoo from Plainwell just into Alamo. These are some of the heavier spots. This is probably the heaviest that it's snowed all morning long there. We've almost picked up an inch so far in Kalamazoo. We'll continue to add to this. Now this is going to snow all day, but not with the same intensity because we'll show you our tower cam. Roadways moving slower, but a lot of the main roads are clearer. 23 with an east breeze at 10 miles an hour. It is cold, but this is not something you have to stay outside in your car and clean up too much for too long because it's a very powdery snow, so it brushes off fairly easily. And throughout the rest of the day, we'll see 1 to 3 inches into downtown Grand Rapids and many other locations as we reach 28 degrees as the snow continues, but it will start to taper off. In fact, we've got flurries tomorrow with a slow warm up toward the weekend with much colder temps in the morning. We'll have details on when the snow starts to decrease throughout the rest of the day and also talk more about the weekend ahead.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. If it were anywhere else, this would definitely be a little late in the season for something like this.
But it's not exactly unexpected here in West Michigan. Annie Satowski is in the mobile weather tracker, keeping us posted on the current road conditions. Hey, Annie.
Good morning, you guys. Yeah, just when we thought we could put the jackets and the boots away, here we are. We have snow again. We are in the mobile weather tracker, as you mentioned, heading on I-96 East right now where, it's pretty smooth going. We'll turn the camera around so you can see. Not too much traffic. We're going at about 50 miles per hour. Some spots it does get a little bit slower as traffic gets backed up. This section of the road is starting to look a lot better than what we've been seeing. You can sort of make out the lines in the road, and it's not too slick, so pretty smooth sailing there. As Rob Westby mentioned, there have been a few side-offs. We've only seen one involving a semi-truck and another car behind it. It didn't appear to be anything serious, so just keep a lookout for that if you're heading towards the 28th Street overpass there. That will be on the side of the road, so just make sure you slow down. Traffic, again, moving pretty good here, not too slick, but please keep in mind that once you're getting on and off the interstate there, the on-ramps and actual interstate itself, so take it nice and slow. Also, when you get into the intersections, snowplow crews have told us multiple times that those sections will be a lot more slick than what you would encounter on the roadways there. So as we start to head into our morning commute here, make sure you allow for plenty of time to get to where you need to be. And if the road conditions are fine where you are, you'll just be early. And we're going to continue to roam around Kent County here, heading on I-96 East, and we'll keep you updated throughout the morning. So for now, live in the mobile weather tracker, Annie Satowski, Fox 17 News.
Pavement quality there, that where Annie was on I-96 between M6 and the East Belt Line, actually looking pretty good. Most areas that we've seen them travel have had snow right across the roadway. You're going to see a little bit less of that as more traffic blows some of that snow off, but some of that snow is going to get packed into ice. We have mishaps. That semi is located on westbound 96 near Alden Nash. We also have 44th and Eastern being cleared. Northbound 131 at 68 had a crash earlier. We've had a serious crash in Muskegon on Broadway west of Henry, a slide off on eastbound 96 at mile 7, and a mishap in Grand Haven on Waverly. And these reports will just keep churning through as people deal with the slick conditions. One of the things people are doing is slowing down. We're not doing speed limits, as Gary mentioned. We're doing under 60 miles per hour on most of the expressways. You can see at 196 at Lane Avenue. This doesn't look too bad, but keep in mind that this, even though this looks kind of nice, still going to be slippery. I'm Rob Westerby, Fox 17 Traffic.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. The Northeast is bracing for what could be the season's biggest snowstorm, a blizzard that may dump up to 18 inches on New York City. The Big Apple, along with major cities from Washington, D.C. to Boston, could be completely shut down as a result of the storm. The nearly 2 feet of snow will likely lead to flight cancellations, not to mention rough road conditions. Coastal areas in New England could also see flooding. The majority of the snow is expected to fall tonight and continue throughout the day tomorrow.
Well, new this morning, police say a man robbed a gas station clerk at knife point while he paid for his purchases. It happened at 1 this morning at the Speedway on Baldwin Street in Georgetown Township. Now, according to the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department, the suspect walked in and went to pay for some items, and that's when he pulled out a knife and ordered the clerk to hand over cash. He got away with an unknown amount of money. We are expected to learn a lot more from police today following a high-speed chase that ended in a deadly fiery crash Saturday night in Kentwood.
A Calvin College student was an innocent driver who just happened to be in the area and was among 2 people who were killed. It all happened around 10 on Saturday night. Police say a Michigan State police trooper tried to pull a vehicle over, but the driver refused to stop, leading to the chase. Police say the suspect vehicle drove through the intersection at 52nd and Broadmoor and crashed into another vehicle, causing both cars to explode in flames. The suspect's passenger died at the scene.
The other victim in the crash, the driver that the suspect hit, was identified as 21-year-old Tara Oskam, who also died at the scene. She was a junior at Calvin College studying speech pathology. Last night, there was a prayer service for her at the chapel on Calvin's campus. And yesterday, the school's president issued a statement calling her a gifted student, a campus leader, and someone who was loved and admired by many.
Tara's boyfriend, Chad Beazle, is also speaking out about her death. He told us that yesterday would have marked 1.5 years since they'd been together. Yesterday, he told Fox 17, quote, "She was everything to me, and I long for people to find the same kind of love with someone that I had with her. There is not a soul on this world that was as amazing as her, and that I hope everyone gets a chance to meet her in heaven."
As we await more information to come down on that crash later this morning, we are hearing from a family who was in town visiting from the east side of the state who had a close call with this chase. Scott and Christine Bussey said the suspect vehicle and the officers just sped past them. They say the suspect was going so fast it actually rocked their van. The Busseys had slowed down before the crash because a warning light actually came on in their dash.
And we're just about to come over a hill to where we're going to lose the visibility, and I see them going into the beginning of the intersection. And then at that moment we lose visibility for a little bit, come up, and there's a bright light. I mistook it for some kind of lighting, but later we come to find out it's the fires from the vehicles.
I have good faith in God, so I believe He was watching out for us. We're thankful. And we send our prayers out, though, for the family of that girl. It's awful.
Investigators have not released the name of the passenger who died in the suspect's car. We're told the suspect was hospitalized but is expected to survive. We'll, of course, keep you posted as we get more updates from police today.
Healthcare and the budget will dominate the agenda in Washington this week.
But President Trump's wiretapping allegations will also likely make headlines. The cost of the Republican health care plan will be revealed this week with the release of the Congressional Budget Office score. Republicans aren't expecting it to come cheap, but they won the election in part on repealing Obamacare. This comes as President Trump is expected to propose spending cuts in his first budget, which will also include an increase in defense spending. And Republicans and Democrats are calling on the White House to release evidence after Mr. Trump accused President Obama of wiretapping Trump Tower during the election. A congressional committee set a deadline of today for the Justice Department to provide evidence. The man accused of stabbing a woman in a Meijer parking lot is in the hospital after a police officer shot him. Police say they got an anonymous tip that this man, 20-year-old Victor Gonzalez, went into a bar on Bridge Street in Grand Rapids. He ran off when officers approached him and went into another bar before running out the back, where he was confronted by officers. Police say the situation escalated, and that's when an officer shot him in the stomach. Police believe he stabbed a woman in the Meijer parking lot on Alpine Avenue in Walker last Thursday during an attempted carjacking. Gonzalez was on parole for assault at the time. The officer who shot him is on administrative leave, which is standard policy.
The effort to get a car out of the Kalamazoo River is now over. Yesterday evening, crews in Battle Creek pulled it out of the water. You see it there. After it went in earlier this month, a fisherman spotted the car earlier in the day after the water level dropped. Police believe the person driving it was 31-year-old Cortez Lewis from Detroit, who has ties to the Battle Creek area. But no one was inside the vehicle when crews pulled it out. Lewis is still missing, and police are asking you to keep an eye out for him. If you know anything, call Silent Observer.
Well, if you saw people running around Grand Rapids in their underwear over the weekend, don't worry. It was a part of Laugh Fest's Funderwear Run. This was the 4th year for the 5K. It's one of the many events that's part of Laugh Fest, which raises money, of course, for Gilda's Club Grand Rapids to help those affected by cancer. Nearly 200 people took part yesterday, so the cold not stopping them.
Not at all.
Yes.
10 minutes after 7 and coming up.
Well, if you work a desk job, it could be hurting your health. What you can do to offset the negative effects of sitting all day.